could be your year. Make an old man proud of you. Forget about the tears on the level. See me eye to eye. Stand up like a
Hey friends, how is everyone tonight? Welcome to our weekly Mograph Hangouts. So where we left off last week was building our game. So let's continue doing that. We got our character to jump, we got our character to move. The last thing in this tutorial that we were doing was they showed off doing like changing the character movements. So let's do that. Let's go into our C40 blueprint. And in our character movement stuff, you've got gravity, max acceleration, stuff like that. Let's see what happens if we futz with our acceleration and other things. Max step height, character movement, walking, jumping, falling. Okay. Let's see what they put theirs as. All right, so max walk, they do 300. Max walk, there we go. Okay. 300. Let's see how that feels. Oh yeah, that feels a lot better. Okay, cool. I don't think the jump feels too bad. Let's see what they did on the jump. Gravity. Okay. I don't love. Okay, so they adjusted the gravity. Jump Z velocity. Okay, that makes sense. So how much velocity is going whenever you're pressing the jump button and versus how much gravity is pulling on it. So, okay. So let's change this to like 300 and see what that does for us. Okay, that's not bad. See, this could be good, and then all right, cool. Let's do that. All right, so my thought was for the game, his name is C40. I feel like we should do a, because EJ is such a huge fan of Mega Man, I feel like we should definitely do like a Mega Man style game where you still get the platformer and then, you know, you fight a bad guy at the end, you know. That was my thought. So, but what we could start off with is this little introduction to where he's like in this lab and stuff like that. I was watching a bunch of people speedrun Cuphead this past week, and I really like the introductory thing that they do with Cuphead, where you go through and like it kind of teaches you how to jump and how to parry and all that other stuff. So I think we should start with that. So we should start with like a little room where C40 is like, say, brought to life or something like that, right? And then maybe I don't know, somehow he gets infected or something like that, and so he's got to go through and battle like 4 different bad guys or 6 different bad guys. So you've got, you know, several different levels that you're doing. I don't mind that idea. Yeah, so we'd have to build out maybe 6 different levels, and then he like fixes himself through fighting these people, or like say these are all like AI viruses or something like that. So he's got to fight the evil AI. He's got to fight the AI. They're all these AI viruses, and they do different things. And then as you beat the levels, you get different Mograph skills, you know, which would be fun. So, okay, I like that idea. And then at the very end, your creator tells you you've got to go back into the computer and destroy one last thing. Or now that you've been brought to life, like you've got to plug into the computer and destroy the evil AI. So, all right, I dig that. So basically we need, let's start with 4 bad guys, you know, just for now. And then we'll do the main scene where you are in the, whatchamacallit. You're in the scientist space or whatever. So, oh, I should probably bring up my chat, shouldn't I? Because I don't have that up. Oh, hey everybody. Dances for peas. What's going on? Okay, so I think let's start with, now that we've like figured out the Unreal stuff and we know that it's physically possible for us to build a game, I say we start building out the levels. And I had this idea to do like a level creation thing almost, and I wonder if it's possible. I need to think about it some more. But bringing in lots of things, like multiple, what are those called? Let's go into the content. Multiple tile sets. You know, like what is the maximum size tile set that I can bring in? Let's look. Size tile set, Unreal Engine 5. And can I have multiple? Okay, 8K, the Unreal maximum tile set for world partition is determined by system memory, GPU memory. While there isn't a strict hard line, practically you only encounter performance issues. 44 kilometers by port. Okay. 8 by 8 for 2D side scroller. Let's see if that brings us anything different. 32 by 32. Okay. Proper tile map size 40 by 28. Okay. Let's just do a test real quick. So what I want to do, because right now, okay, so that tile set is that. Let's just take a pretty big image. All right. Let me see if I can grab let's see. What's gonna be the best thing to do here? Okay, this is really stupid, but I'm gonna search for. Let's ChatGPT. All right. Yep. Let's close that down. Give me a 2048 by 2048 image of a what is it called? A laboratory that would look cool in a 2D side scroller. We're just going to use this as a sample because what I want to do is I want to test out the size limitations and see if we can build in multiple things into this. This takes a while. Oh, that's kind of fun. It's kind of neat. Alright, it's looking cool. Ha! That's almost exactly what I had in mind, only like a lot more detailed. Similar to, so I did the opening, I did a remake of the opening of Super Metroid. And, yeah, okay, cool. So, working graphics, I'm gonna call this test tile map. Okay, so we will bring in our tile map, games, C40, graphics, working graphics. Let's bring this in. All right, test tile map, and then sprite actions, create tile set. Okay, so then in here, let's do 16 by 16. Yeah, okay. So that's pretty cool. 28 by 128. Okay. Okay. All right, so let's do, wish I could offset this a bit. Spacing, maybe. Drawing offset. Five. Nope. Oh, XY. 5. 20. Nope. Alright, so let's go ahead and do some colliding tiles. Add box, add box. So I'm just doing this real quick. I'm going to save that. What's it? Tile set tile map. So, but I can't throw a create tile map. What is that? So width is 8. We'll do 1. Whoops. Okay, then I'll just save this real quick. So this is, yeah. Okay, so we can add multiple tile sets to this because now we've got these tile maps and stuff. Let's see if layer. Okay, so let's see if we do a new layer. We'll turn this off. Oh, see, but it only gives you 1. Is that right? All right, delete. So is this... It seems like a lot to do. So you've got like tile set, maybe here you're building out a level and stuff. So what we could do, let's see about this. So 8 by 8. See, and then you just paint the entire level and it's already got collisions on it. Save that. So, I mean, this is kind of stupid, but like, okay. And then this is really stupid that I'm doing it this way, but like, for example, yeah, we could build out the levels like that, you know. It's like there. Oh boy. He might be stuck in that. Okay. Yeah. So that's not bad. So we could, all right, let's get out of there. Let's see what happens if we resize this to like 0.25. So if we were to do 3 different things and set our collisions in all of them, yeah, so we could basically just create our backgrounds entirely in Cinema. Yeah, okay. So they can look pretty photoreal and stuff like that, and we can interact with them like this. But they'd be flat in 2D. If we wanted to do 3D, or... Yeah, that's not bad. Okay. Let's see. Let me see if I can... Game file. Let me see if I... Bear with me, I'm on my other computer doing some stuff. C40 projects, game setup. Okay, so how do we set the size that we want our play area to be? Where do we do that? Want to use this node in order to spot an actor setting a boundary in the play area? No. Play area size often refers to the area where the player is physically present within the level. Bound to play. So display size and you can adjust the editor viewport settings or modify camera settings within your level. Edit, editor preference, game viewport settings. Edit, editor preference. Let's look up game viewport settings. Okay. Oh, interesting. So if we did 640 by 480, which is standard like SD. See, but it doesn't. Game view? No. Let's see in the C40 blueprint what the camera does. Crop overscan. Nope. Do I need to save it first? Nope. Constrain aspect ratio. Nope. But I mean, it does do that here, but it does the wrong size, you know? Field of view, lock to in, constraint aspect. Let's see what happens if I go back and do that. See, so it still keeps, oh no. Okay. Constrain. So now if I do this, okay, yeah. That does, is that 16 by 9 though? Feels like a little bit wider than 16 by 9. So let's see where we set that though. Aspect ratio. Okay, so what is it? What's 4 by 3 is 4 divided by 3 is 1.33333. Oh, 640 by 430. There we go. All right, so let's save that and let's see. Haha! But that still looks, that doesn't look, oh, it's because the bottom. Okay, that makes sense. All right, so if I was to like add more stuff at the bottom, this is stupid, but yeah, so there we, oh, yeah, yeah, boy. Oh, that's so fun. Okay. Okay. Ah, Guava, what's up? What time is it in Korea right now? I know, right? Woohoo! We're just playing around. We haven't really done that much. Those are all just still images and stuff. We're testing out some stuff. Yeah, but we got them moving. And we got them jumping and stuff. So now I'm trying to figure out what the best course of action for building out levels and stuff. So I wanted to get, I wanted to lock my aspect ratio to a 4:3 so that we could see. And so I was able to figure that out. So you can see everything in the black is the stuff that's going to be 11 a.m. Woo! It's almost 8 p.m. here. So we're almost, what are we, 14-hour difference? Something like that. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, 14 hours. That's amazing. So you're same time as like Brisbane, Sydney, Australia, right? I believe. Woohoo. Okay, so I do like that you've got these little elements, like look at the trees, and so you get that tiny bit of parallax on it. That'd be pretty cool. So we could build out some elements that we want in the foreground and stuff that we want in the background, and do just like paper ones. Okay, that feels pretty good. Pew 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 pew. Wah! Okay, cool. So let's see. All right. Let me go into my game. C40 projects. Game setup. I'm going to open this up. All right. So here's what I have done. I created, while I was working the other day, I created a espresso rig in Cinema, whereas camera, and within this user data, we switch to what screen we want. So for example, let me get out of this camera and you can see what's going on. So I've got a camera here, and it's got a, yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's got a super wide or super long lens. I think it's like a 300 focal length, right? And then in our espresso tag, and this is cool because we just tested this out with the game. You know, we found that we can bring in multiple tile maps and stuff like that. So what we can do is we could actually build out the entire level without really worrying about, like creating tile maps similar to what you would do in like NESMaker or something, where you're having to build out actual tile sheets and stuff. We're going to be building the entire screen, you know, and it's probably not the best way to go about it, but you know. Okay, so if I was to just duplicate this camera real quick, you'll see when I go to my user data, I change my screen, and so that then makes it right next to the other one. So let's see. So let's turn this one on. Oh, what'd I do? Oh yeah, okay. So see, this is like a 4K image almost, right? Set at 0. So then if I go to the next one, which is number 2 in my user data, or I guess number 1, that moves it over. So basically we're going to be building out this entire thing, and then we're rendering out these individual things, right? So like, for example, we could just, let's see, go into this camera, and then we can keyframe this as we've built out our level. Keyframe from 0 to, like, say it's 10 tiles long, go to 9, and then each frame will be, well, 1, 2, I need to change that to 9. All right. Yeah. So 9. Oh, come on. 0, 1. Oh, I need it to be linear. So linear. Let's see. 3. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right? So each of these, as we're building this along in 3D space through all of our stuff and blah 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 blah, we don't need to worry about lining stuff up necessarily, because it's then going to be rendering out individual images we then take into Unreal Engine and draw out our collisions and stuff. So I don't know, it might be a fun way to do it. We'll see. This may be like really stupid and a really dumb workflow, but like me as a, yeah, so data, user data in integer. Yeah. So I'll show you what the, what it looks like. Let's see. Is it this one? That one, I want to lock that one so I can't change it. But in the user data, I just added screen, and then the camera, what it does, it takes that screen info, like whatever this is, and then it does a math multiply. It multiplies the X position by 3840 or whatever. So if I change, I need to see if I should probably create like a 4:3 one as well, because right now this is 16:9. So, but yeah, basically I would just change my math to be an additional, whatever the width is, and then it just moves it that much. Now, if we're going up, I guess technically I need to build a, I could call this like horizontal camera, and then I could do the other one as vertical. Actually, let's do that. So where is my user data? Data, real, multiply. Nope, not there. There. So user data, manage user data. We'll call this vertical or horizontal screen. Horizontal screen. Okay. So yeah, it's just a float. It's a real number, step 1 through whatever, and that just multiplies it by whatever the X value is. So, and then let's create a new one. Actually, we'll just duplicate this one, and we'll call this vertical screen, in case we want to do any vertical screen stuff. So in here, then we can do our vertical screen here, do that, and then whatever our height is. Our height is 2160, so then we would multiply that by 2160, and then we'd go to the global position Y. Where's it coordinate? It's global position Y. All right, so now if I go to vertical screen 0, so now we're moving along, and then this is us moving up. Yeah, nice. So now we can build out the whole, we'll just build out the level. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it'll kind of look like cell animation, so like I can actually like build out the entire thing like I would, make it look like an Octane render or whatever. Make it look like an Octane render, make the whole level look 3D and look cool, but it's going to be flat, and we could take some of the elements that have depth or whatever on them and like only take those elements and put them just a little bit cheated towards the front in our 2D planes or whatever, so that we actually get that parallax effect, which would be pretty cool. Yeah, sorry the delay is so long. It's actually, I don't know if you're on Twitch, but we're on Twitch as well, and it's actually less of a delay on Twitch. So this is cool. So now we can just like start building out our level and stuff like that. So I want to lock this one. What is it? I can't remember, man. Ever since they moved everything around, I never remember. Rigging. Protection. Okay, so I don't want to mess with that. Yeah, so like we can build out like the floor or whatever, and then grab a bunch of elements and hold on. So I'm going to, let's save this as C40 stage 1. So we got to eventually figure out how to do like bad guys and stuff like that, and how to do like our pulse jump. Ooh, pulse jump. That's a good name for it. We got to figure out how to do the pulse jump. But once we do, then that'll be cool. So, but right now I kind of want to focus on like, Guava, what's up? How long of a delay is it? Is it less of a delay on Twitch? That's funny. So, yeah, I want to, like, we can build out these levels and stuff like that, and then bring them in, and then we'll figure out the bad guy stuff in a little bit. This is our first game, so we're just having fun with it. So, in the meantime, we can do this. Let's start off with a floor, and I want to open up, I want to steal some stuff from another project that I worked on. Some of my, where is it? People, brain jar. Where is my Super Metroid? Project file, C40. Metroid Octane. Let's try this one. In Twitch, I'm offline, only black screen. Dang! Okay. That happens sometimes. It's like if the stream gets like the stream rate is too much. No, I see myself. Try refreshing. I don't know. I see myself okay. Huh. So I want to steal some of this stuff. Yeah, boy. All right. We can get rid of some of the dead bodies and stuff like that. See, but we could build it out. Yeah, like that. Nope. I just want quick shading. Man, I wish there was... Wish there was a flat shading option, you know, to where it didn't give you all these different options. Oh, thanks. Yeah. This was one that I had done for, I did a remake of the Super Metroid, right? Okay, so, like, for example, oh boy. Actually, let me undo that. Oh, what just happened? Okay. Cinema. Yeah, it's having draw issues. Maybe it's my scene settings. Display large? Huge? Nope. This has been an issue that I've run into with cinema lately, where it just doesn't want to draw correctly. Wait, why did my camera go way over there? Oh, well that's why. Dang. All right. Shoot. All right, let's see if I can get my camera back. Okay. It's not Cinema's fault, it's mine. Why didn't I lock that? Oh boy. Okay, that feels right. I'll just stick with that. Camera's on exposition. Yeah, I'm stupid. Thanks. I noticed that. Okay, so then I need to lock this on the protection tag. Yeah, okay, cool. All right, so now, like if I turn this on, let's move this just to the center. And then let me do a instance of this. Where is it? There we go. I need like a, oh boy, that was too far. Then we can go to user data, horizontal, we'll go to 1. Then we'll move this instance over as well, get that in the center. So now we do dun dun dun. Let's see if this, I don't think this is going to show up because it's, I want to make camera Z position a fit in screen resolution when yeah, I don't know what the best way to do that is. Math, probably. Oh yeah, lots of textures missing. It doesn't have any. Okay, let's go back into internal. Where is it? Metroid. Project files, C4D. Let's grab all the texture files. Let's make sure we've got them all. Make available offline. I do prefer Octane, just because I feel like you get a super photorealistic image for a lot less work than you do with, say, Redshift or Unreal Engine. I do like Arnold a lot, but it takes a long time, personally. games, C40, C40 projects. Texture. Okay, so now if I just save this and then revert to saved, yes, that's fine. Just want to do a test. Do this. Well, I got some of them. Dang, what am I missing? Concrete. It's probably because I don't have my GSG textures in here. Imperfections, GSG assets. I don't think I have them all. I think I like deleted them or something. Okay, that sucks. Well, we're just gonna do a test. So horizontal. Actually, what I want to do is I want to offset these so that we can double check that this works. Nope. So like something like, whoops. Something like this. So now, if I go to the next frame, yeah, for the most part. Let's grab this one, move it over. Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna render out these first two frames. Let's do one more copy of that. One, two. Ooh, spinning up. So 0, 1, 2. Save. We're gonna do PNGs. If we can bring JPEGs in. Graphics, sprite renders. Let's call these tile sets. Tile sets, we're gonna call these tile sets UE since we're doing it in Unreal Engine. This will be, just gonna call this test stage. So test stage. Save, and then I only care about like 0 to 2. So let's render these out. Hopefully they go fast. I need to change my scale as well. looks quite a bit different. Why is that? Why does it look different? Probably because I'm using not a C4D camera. That's okay. It's just a test. Oh yeah, I can already tell you right now it's not gonna line up. Oh wait. Because this should be right there. It should be like right there, but it's not. Okay. See, I should be getting a little bit more of that. Why aren't I doing that? Did I move my... Is it because it has... Is it because it has depth? That could be the case. That's what I was trying to do with... Your camera focal length is 300mm with 300 stars express depth. Yes, it is. Yeah. That's the point. I wanted more flat textures, but I guess because... Oh, boy. I wanted it to basically flatten the entire thing, but you see what I'm running into with this is that I'm getting too much depth, you know? Because this is cut off over here, so you should only see a little bit of it. It should be cut off here, but it's not because I've got more depth. Maybe it needs to be an even wider one. Actually, I'm gonna duplicate this. And we're gonna check. Let's go to like 1,000 focal length. Which is crazy, but I just want everything to look flat. And then I'm gonna need to change my configure. Nope. I always get the two confused. Scene settings. Large. See, and I think it should still be fine with the espresso that I built. Change to frontal camera. I mean, I could. I don't know if... All right, I'm going to test that next. Let's see, let's turn that one off. That is better, but I still think it's off. Perspective. That's not what I was trying to do. Doe. Holy crap, what'd I do? Perspective. Perspective. What's going on? Oh. That's why. Why did it jump back there? But I like your idea, Guava. Camsine's projection to front. That might be it. Oh boy. Okay, we're getting somewhere on frontal. But can we, will it render out frontal is the question. Still don't think that's lined up correctly. Not in viewport menu and camera attribute mem. Oh. Let me, so I'm using Octane. Let me get an Octane camera just so I make sure I'm using the right one. Objects, Octane camera. Perspective, frontal, right? Parallel, left, right, front. Okay. Oh, shoot. Let's go back to this real quick. Is it moving out? It's not moving out. Huh. Okay. That might be it. Yeah. That's looking like that lines up pretty well. Let's see if I do just an even number, just so I have an even number. Ah, that doesn't matter. It literally does not matter. Okay. So let's go back to our Octane camera, because that, and then that doesn't matter because it's frontal. What do we do to zoom here? Here we go. And that looks right. All right. You know what? Let's do this. I don't need that. There we go. All right. So now, but will it render in Octane? This will be great. You only control a zoom parameter. Yeah, that's great. Oh, but I don't think it worked. Maybe you can't do frontal? What's up, Wimbush? Look, Wimbush. Check it out. We got C40 in our scene. Woohoo! He's jumping. He looks a little washed out. I think we tried figuring out that last time. Pretty cool, huh? All right, so can Octane do frontal? I don't know if it will. Oh. So reversal? See, because you've got a specific, yeah. Let's see what happens if I do this. No. Yeah, Winbush, you haven't been playing enough video games lately. Okay, I think I'm frozen. Orthographic, fisheye, cube map. Oh, that's weird. Need a freak break. Universal camera. Yeah, but I want... Oops. Okay. I don't think it will do. I don't think it'll do it at all. Yeah, but I want to be able to build out. Basically, I want to build out the level in cinema, you know, and instead of just having it repeat. You know, if I was having it repeat, that wouldn't be so hard. But like the fact that I actually want to build it in cinema. Jeez. Ah. See, that's the focal length. But it's once I change it to frontal, I don't think it makes a difference in Octane. It still sees it as a... Yeah, something totally different. Hey, Clemson, you're here. Oh, wake up, Octane. Clemson, how do I do a frontal camera in Octane? I'm sure there's a way to do it in OSL. Thanks. In order to do it, you just have to change the gravitational pull of the universe. Thanks, Q. Hey, Dren. We are kind of. This is just an old project that I had, but we're building out a video game, a 2D side-scroller in Unreal Engine and Cinema 4D. So we've got our little guy here, and we're working on building out the level and trying to figure out an easy way to do it in Cinema 4D, just like to where... Oh boy, did it crash on me? Trying to find an easy way to do it in Cinema to where I can just build out the still images of each frame. Maybe I'll have to play around. Thanks, Dren. That's nice of you. Now, keep in mind, none of these graphics are mine. The C4D character, the C40 character, the little robot, I did not design. That was done by EJ Hassenfratz from iDesign. And the other artwork is from other sources online or ChatGPT. It's just fun to jump around. Yeah, cinema I think is frozen on me. That's great. Oh boy, need to watch ads. Parallel view. Orthographic. Wait, okay. I don't want to update my software. Frontal, where it's like basically flat. Like, you know, if you go to a front view on your thing, if you go to frontal and it only shows like it's basically flat. It's like having like a 20,000 focal length lens. It just flattens everything. Come on, cinema. Okay, well now we get to start over. So they did a parallel camera in here. They did orthographic. This is CG MSK. And then did a parallel. I wonder if I can set orthographic and then do frontal. Oh. Open. Stage 1. Did I save anything? Oh, I did. All right. Well, that's good. It's not a complete loss. So now I need a octane camera. So within this, we are going to do a see, where's the orthographic? Tag. Universal camera mode. Ah ha ha. Okay, so now when we go to our... Do we have frontal? Do we have frontal? We have frontal! Full frontal! Yes! Well done, chat. Great job, chat. Super proud of all of us. Alright. Now let's see if it will actually render. All right, let's turn that off. Go to Octane. Come on, team. Did we do it? Did we do it? Tell me we did it. We did not do it. Nope. We didn't do it. It looks the same. Okay. Come on. I know, right? Physical camera, viewing angle, YZ. Oh boy. Nope. It doesn't do anything. Okay, that does something. What does it do? Ah, okay. Okay. Yes, then this should theoretically, right? Shifted Z. Just get ridiculous. Huh. What just happened? Orthographic. Did that work? I don't know what I did. Oh, it's because I'm on the wrong camera. That's why. Let's see. Aspect, edge. Chris, where are you? I feel like this should be it right here. You know? Just keep going back. See, why does this change? This changes, but the other one doesn't. What is that button? Ooh, Runch. That's fun. Oh? Nope. What's up, Sparky Face? How are ya? How's Perth? Okay. I got nothing. Jeez. All right, let's go back to Google. See, so does a parallel camera work? Ha. Oh, is that it? There we go. Boom. Oh, that's cool. What kind of 3D printer did you get? This is why I don't use Octane. You're missing out. I'm telling you. Here's the thing. We are throwing things at Octane that you don't normally do. Ooh, let's see. So if I... No, that doesn't matter. That's weird. All right. Here's the thing. Once we figure this out, we are going to be set. I think that is good. But I need to change my physical Y position. I think. No, maybe not. Okay, so that will change my Y. Awesome. All right, so if I move this here, go to here, what do I grab? Grab my focal distance. I'll just do both of these. Front. Do both of those. Let's turn these two off. There we go. Boom. Right now learning. Well, I'd love eventually to put it on Steam and stuff like that. But I don't know. What I would really love to do, because we're building out the Unreal version, but we're also doing NESMaker and making a 2D like pixelated 8-bit game that you can really play on the NES. I'm much more interested in doing a Kickstarter for like an NES game. I think that would be fun, and actually do physical cartridges. Oh, I don't know. I just selected the two, control, and then come over and control V. Yeah. I held down control while I was selecting multiple things. Okay. So I think that worked. Let's see. So, boom, boom. I think that's right. All right, let's save this and let's test this out. So 0 to 2. Octane render, we want a PNG. Let's do this. Graphics, tile sets, test stage. Save. Zero to 2. Okay. Boom, ba, 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 ba. All right. While this is rendering, I'm going to run to the restroom. right. Doot, doot, doot. That looks all right. Yeah, it is wide. It's a LG ultra wide, which I really like. I've actually got two, one on top of the other one, and then I've got a vertical screen over here. So all different computers. I use one mouse and one keyboard. You guys see that I have the trails on there, which is really stupid. I just do that so that because otherwise you wouldn't see it with the software that I use to go across 3 computers. All right, games, C40, graphics, tile sets, test stage. So yeah, we'd have to bring in each one of these as its own. Sprite actions, create tile set. And sprite actions, create tile set. Sprite action, create tile set. Okay, so this is one. Ah, okay. So let's see. Okay, so 32 by 32. So this is, we brought in like a full HD thing. So let's do 256 by 256. Okay, that's not bad. 128, oh, not 125. So we can select all of these. Interesting. Nope. 28, 128. Why is that the lowest I can go? Why can't I go down here? Four by, is it 2048? No, what's the dimensions? $2160. 135. That's weird. Oh, because I'm running Unreal Engine at the same time as I'm running that. Probably. Also, it's 4K. And is it... No, it's direct lighting. Okay, what was my math? 135? This is probably the stupidest way to do this. There we go. Alright. So now we can select all of these. Oh, now we gotta do that. 3840. $240. No, I don't want to do that. 20? 840 divided by 22. Nope. 40. 120. All right. So why? There we go. All right. Gliding tiles. With this. Oh, do I really have to? I can't do add box. Add box. I wish I could. Can I paint on boxes? Also, that octane scene is pretty complicated. It's got subsurface and it's got transparency and stuff like that, even though it is direct lighting. That's stupid. As we're going through here, we just set what we want. See, I really want to do the 4:3 aspect ratio, not the 16:9. So save that. And create tile map. What just happened? What happened? Where'd my tile map? Why didn't I do anything? Oh, because I've actually got a through. Ah, alright. What did I do it as? Map height was 16. What is that? Is it 20? Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, so 32. There we go. Save. Close. Now we have our full thing. Let's get rid of some of these. See, but then I'm going to scale it down. Whoop. That's right. Come on. Why are my collisions showing? Oh, I'm not really saying much. I'm talking to myself. I'm saying, why aren't my collisions happening? Lighting tiles, yeah. See, but this worked a second ago. Why isn't this working? It needs to be bigger. There we go. Jesus. What do I do in the industry? My main focus is motion design, 3D animation. I freelance for a bunch of companies, stuff. I do a bunch of freelance work. Yeah, I'm kind of all over the place. So maybe at a certain... Maybe at a certain height or at a certain size, it just doesn't see it. Yeah. I don't understand why I'm not seeing the collisions. Okay, so at point 2, it gets it. At 26? No way. Oh, you're in graphic design. Graphic designers make the best motion designers. Yep, 100%. At 26, how old was I when I got into 3D? I had a background in video production and didn't get into 3D until I was probably about your age. Yeah. So, but you've got those, you know, basically the design principles and stuff down. You're fine. Okay. So that's not working as far as the size. So maybe I'll call it a night. We'll pick up on it next week, and we'll try and figure out this size situation. So I think we're going to do that. So thanks to everyone for coming and hanging out with us tonight, especially the new folks. Dren, thanks for showing up and hanging out. We do this every Thursday at 7:30 Central Time, or what is it, 9:30 a.m. Korea time? Yeah. So feel free to come and hang out. And yeah, it's going to be a good time. So thanks to everyone for coming and hanging out. We'll see you guys next week, or you can join us for the podcast on Mondays at noon Central, which would be, let's see. Yeah, that'd be like 2 a.m. Korea time. Guava, good to see you too. Winbush, thanks for hanging out. Super chill. Can't wait to join again. Thanks. Appreciate that. All right, y'all. Until next week, I'll see you next time. Later, yo.
pretty good, I guess.